In this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 side hustles that are tried and tested that I have personally done that actually work. Not a get rich quick scammy business model that very few people will actually succeed in, that is extremely saturated. Now, why should you trust me? I'm a guy that has no course, I have nothing to sell you, and I've actually done all of these and made money off of all of them. And I'm just here to give you my honest advice and feedback. So, I'm going to get straight into it. If you do like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you like and subscribe and comment. It really helps me out. Now let's get into it. First of all, we're going to start with flipping. Now, flipping is the idea that you buy an item and sell it for a profit. Very simple. There's a bit more to it, which I'm going to get into. I'm just going to quickly go over all of these, the basics that you need to start. I'm going to make more in-depth videos in the future on hopefully all of these. Alright, so let's get into the benefits. The benefits of flipping is it's got a low barrier to entry, good possible profit margins, and very easy to do. Now, my dad personally flips bikes in his retirement, and he has made quite a lot of money off it. So it does work. I've done it myself. I've made probably, I'd say, close to 1,000 without doing loads. You know, I literally, if an odd deal comes up, I just do it. Okay, if you do this regularly and put more time into it, you can make that in a month. You can make more in a month if you really want to. Now, let's get into sources. Sources is where you're going to find the item. This is, well, the ones I would recommend anyway. Facebook Marketplace, auction houses, yard sales, and car boots. Most of these also give you the opportunity to knock down, which is always good. For items, so if you know something, say about collectible Pokemon cards, then that can be something very good to go into. But what I tend to do is something that has a lot of customers, or a lot of possible customers, so something like bikes. I've got down here electronics, forms of transport, and furniture. Now, forms of transport, I mean cars, if you know about them, bikes. By electronics, I mean monitors, TVs, computer parts, phones, and furniture is pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so now I'm going to get onto the final part of this, which is my tips. Now, my tips to maximise profit are: take good pictures, make sure you get all the angles, and pretty much describe the item in the photos in a way. Make sure you put a good description under it. Highlight it. This is a tip, guys, I'm going to put you on. Highlight the good bits and put the bad bits at the end. I know it sounds pretty self-explanatory, but these people are going to be like, oh, this is so good, and then it will sort of downplay the bad bits at the end. Alright? Another thing is clean things up. If you can use a cleaner that is dedicated for the item, perfect. If you can use some sort of polish, even better. But with the majority of things, a multi-purpose cleaner will work. I say majority of things. Now, this leads me on to my second side hustle, which is cleaning services. Now, this is what I personally do for a full-time income. I do car valeting myself, but the ones that are sort of the main ones anyway, you can do this with anything, are car cleaning, home cleaning, and window cleaning. Gutter cleaning, pressure washing, you get the gist, right? Whatever you want. Now, my advice for starting up would be advertise on Facebook, put it on some local groups, and an example of a paragraph could be, hi everyone, I am, state your age, and just wanted to offer my services, and state what your service is. I'm friendly, passionate about what I do, and my prices start from just, put your price, as I'm just starting up. Now, that sort of can get you going. I did a very similar thing when I first started out and tried to play into people's emotions. You know, Say, oh, I'm just young, trying to save up some money for, I don't know, I used the example of my car insurance. And I know that I got a lot of tips and a lot of customers based off of that because they wanted to give me the money rather than me go and spend it on stupid clothes and stuff like that. Now, my other one that sort of ties into this is general labour and odd jobs. You can just advertise with a very similar paragraph. Just say what you can do. If someone asks you if you can do something, don't turn it down. Learn how to do it if you don't know already, and get the necessary stuff if it's worth it. Now that's just a quick one, but personally, even just for family friends, I have made a good bit of money from just doing odd jobs. This could be clearing out an area, doing a tip run, whatever, you get it. Now, I'm going to lead on to my final two. Now, first of all, I'm going to talk about freelance. So freelance is the idea that pretty much you are hired by a company for usually a temporary amount of time to do a job. This could be edit a certain video. Literally anything you can think of, right? But is a usual business, except you're doing it with freelance, which means you're not sort of tied down and you're not on like a salary usually. You can choose how much to charge, what to do, stuff like that. There's various benefits. You can look it up if you like. Now, the benefits of freelance is it can be a massive income if you do it correctly and build a high value skill. This could be brand scaling, video editing, or any skill that has value to someone. Now, highlight that. Any skill that has value to someone. It has to have value. And the more value it has to someone, the more of a need someone has for it, the higher prices you can charge. So, try to keep that in mind when you're doing it. Is this in demand? Do businesses need this, or would they just sort of like it? Now, the benefit of freelancing is you can very easily scale it into a full-time income if you're good at what you do. Now, you're not going to start off on a full-time income, or it's very unlikely, but the more experience you get, the more reputation you get, the more chance you have to scale it into a full-time income. If you put the time in, you can earn a lot of money if you do the right thing. Now, this leads me on to my last one, which is a bit of a grey area with most people, and it's trading. Now, please, 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 if you're going to do trading, do your research. Trading is risky, but because it's risky, it also means you can get higher returns than long-term investments. Now, short-term investments like crypto, day trading, etc., this is pretty much what I'm talking about in this sector. They're very risky and they are often hated on within the financial community. However, if you have some spare cash, again, highlight spare cash, not rent money, and knowledge on the subject, it can actually be a great earner. Again, highlight knowledge on the subject. You need to have knowledge and you need to have spare cash before you go into trading. Now, long-term investing is great, but we're talking about side hustles. So that is a different video. Like, long-term investing is more of a passive income and a long-term thing. We're talking about how you can earn a quick bit of money while you're still young, while you still can do the riskier things. Alright? So if you learn about stuff like day trading, right, you can earn money on it. I know the financial community usually hates on it, but I would take that with a bit of grain of salt, because if you're good at what you do, you can also earn a good amount of money. I personally have earned a good amount of money through doing that. Now, that is all for the video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'll mention it again quickly. Sorry to be a nose. Please, 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 if you can, like and subscribe. It'll really help me out. Drop your feedback in the comments, or any future video ideas you want me to do. Now, have a great one, guys. Thank you.